The first thing electric vehicles provide to everyone, regardless of whether you own one or you don't, is air quality benefits. The transportation sector, which is now the #1 polluting sector in the American economy.
An electric vehicle is about 3 times as efficient as a gasoline vehicle.
Cost of electricity, 1/3 the cost of gasoline. Maintenance costs over time are going to be 30% less.
Traditionally, the biggest barriers have been access to charging infrastructure.
The amount of electric vehicle charging stations that are equivalent to, say, a gas station, those are very few and far between.
You know, one of the big obstacles to EV adoption has been people worrying that, well, will I be able to get where I need to go?
Six different DC fast charging corridors will be in place across the state of Colorado.
8 states in the Intermountain West agreed that collectively they're going to add fast charging along every interstate highway in those states. From the eastern border of Colorado all the way to the west coast, you'll be confident that you can take an electric vehicle essentially anywhere in the western United States. You know, I think that's a game changer.
We are very early on in the adoption of electric vehicles, and so the infrastructure isn't quite caught up. Today, predominantly most folks are charging their vehicle at home.
You know, one of the challenges of electric vehicle adoption is that it's pretty easy to get an electric vehicle if you live in a single family home or a duplex where you've got a driveway or a garage. It's more challenging in multifamily housing. You might not have a designated parking space or maybe no charging there.
So any new development, now we're saying all single family need to have an outlet at least available for an electric vehicle to charge. In the multifamily and commercial sectors, 10% of spaces need to have an outlet available to plug in your car, which is really important as we see the population growth on the Front Range to incorporate EV readiness into new development.
I think one of the key things that cities can do is to adopt building codes that assure that every time you build a new apartment building or condo complex, or every time you do a major remodel, that you're putting in the wiring and the conduit into those parking lots and parking structures so that it's really easy and cheap to add the electric vehicle charging. So making sure that we're getting that right at initial construction is, I think, probably the single most important thing that cities can do. You know, when I think about the importance of mountain travel to people in Colorado, I think what we really need to see is more all-wheel drive electric vehicles being available here. One of the sort of crazy things is that many of the car companies introduce these great electric vehicles, but they only sell them in a few places.
Zero-emission vehicle standards motivate car companies to bring their EV inventory to the state of Colorado, to invest in the state, bring marketing dollars here, and really educate the public about electric vehicles.
Model availability has certainly increased. Rivian, so this is going to be an American-made vehicle, both a pickup truck as well as an SUV, a multi-passenger vehicle that will have very long range, will have all the gear hauling capacity.
We're seeing new electric SUVs that have the power and the acceleration as any normal SUV they can drive in the mountains of Colorado.
Over the next few years, there are 19 different crossovers or SUVs that will be either plug-in hybrid or full battery electric that will be hitting the market. The key is making sure that they're actually sold in Colorado.
The car companies need to provide the options and the model availability to give consumers the option to buy an electric vehicle.
The future for EV drivers in Colorado is wonderful.
Cities and counties have these really ambitious climate goals. They want to reduce emissions. They need to collaborate. They need to partner with transit agencies, with school districts, with taxi companies, TNCs. And it's really in those partnerships that we see an opportunity to electrify the whole transportation system.
I think we're going to see the state really supporting utility investments in charging infrastructure. I think we will likely see financial incentives for EV adoption continue. A lot of public-private partnerships coming out of the state designed to help industry move things in the right direction. So I'm very excited.